Good evening once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, with Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. Today, with just 2 days left to the highly anticipated Kawempe North elections, Prime Minister Napak has hit the campaign trail, rallying support for Farida Nambi, the ruling NRM's party's candidate, accompanied by a high-profile team that included the NRM Deputy Secretary General Rukungiri, NRM National Mobilizer Rosemary Seninde, NRM's Women's League Chairperson Lydia Wanyoto, among others. Take a look.
In her usual energetic style, Nabanja thrilled supporters with spirited dance moves, igniting excitement and reaffirming her connection with the people. She urged residents to vote for Farida Nambi, emphasizing that she is the best candidate to tackle pressing local issues.
Nze mazemu kwa Prime Minister myaka ena sifunanga kabogerako nze bali babeera ku radio na TV gye boogerera teboogera na mu parliament. Kakati ebizibu byammwe nze mba naabitegeera ntya singa tabadde Farida kundeeta wano ebyo naali bitegedde. Mukimanyi nti gavumenti ya NRM yeerina budget yefe tukwanaganya emirimu fe tukola.
Prime Minister Nabanja reassured voters that electing Farida Nambi would create a stronger connection between Kawempe North and the government, ensuring that their concerns are effectively addressed.
Abaana ba ghetto mbalabye amanyi nja kugabawa naye bwe muba mwagala okumanja kubanga tulina okukola endagaano. Kakati nze mujja kujja ewange nga muyita mwani mu Farida. Bwe munaaba temulonze Farida ebyo byammwe. Bino byenjogera muwulirize byenjogera bya ddala mbijja ku source si ku sowaani.
During the campaign, locals did not hold back in expressing their grievances.
Abo bennyini bolaba obubaka tebabutuusa babeere ba chairman tulina ebitunyigiriza naddala nga ffe abakyala okugeza ng'okusomesa abaana naye nga baba batuuse eri basobola bawa obuyambi obutuyambako naye nabeera babibawadde tebabutuusa.
Nga tulina ekizibu kya kasasiro nga kasasiro atubonyaabonya nnyo kubanga ekikulu tuli mu kitundu kya mugotteko. Kale no kasasira atubonyaabonya nnyo nawadde nga batuyambako mbimu naye nga tugenda okwekanga nga tasobola kuggwa abantu olw'ensonga nti abantu bangi nnyo.
NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja Nsereko acknowledged the leadership gap between the constituency's representatives and the central government, attributing it to the persistent challenges facing the area.
Ekyange kubasaba nti ebintu byonna bye mwogedde wano ekibadde kibiremesa kiri ekintu kimu lwe lujegere oluyunga mpererwe oluyunga Kawempe North ku gavumenti. Waliwo ensonga lwaki waliwo ekifo ky'omubaka wa parliament nti omubaka wa parliament gwe mulonda mmwe kennyini nga mukozesa obuyinza bwammwe n'abanga abayunga ku gavumenti.
NRM National Mobilizer Rosemary Seninde thanked the Prime Minister Nabanja for actively supporting the party's candidate and emphasized the need for unity in strengthening NRM's leadership.
We are hopeful that we shall win this election because we have tried to do our best. I want to thank all the people that have come together to support us and to work with us. We are expecting His Excellency the President on the 11th of March, and we shall be in two places, that is Kawempe A and Kawempe B, and we expect to be at Express Field and then also at Kawempe Mbogo. So we are calling upon all our people, our supporters, to come and welcome His Excellency the President on that day as he comes to lobby for support for our candidate.
With time ticking fast, the battle for Kawempe North is heating up and the NRM team is leaving no stone unturned in its bid to secure victory. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Thank you so much to that, Kaya. UBC will keep you updated on what transpires during the Kawempe North elections. In more stories, Mulago National Referral Hospital is grappling with patients that need constant supplemental oxygen therapy to maintain adequate oxygen levels in their blood. A senior consultant pulmonologist at Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Worodria, told UBC that there are emerging chronic conditions due to obstructive airway disease, and UBC brings you the plight of patients who depend on oxygen at Mulago National Hospital.
Oxygen dependence refers to individuals who require supplemental oxygen therapy to maintain adequate oxygen levels in their blood, often due to chronic lung diseases or other conditions that impair their ability to breathe effectively. Mulago National Referral Hospital Ward 4A is a pulmonary unit with bed capacity of 30 dedicated to oxygen-dependent patients. 28-year-old Moses Okring from Soroti has been a patient at Mulago National Referral Hospital for months with no hope of being discharged soon because he's a patient who needs supplemental oxygen therapy. Okring says he started experiencing difficulty in breathing, night sweats, and loss of weight, and later was advised to go for medical checkup and was diagnosed with TB. Okring says being an oxygen dependent has really drained him and family financially to the extent sometimes he misses on his prescription. Saul Kiza, a gold miner at Mubende, is another patient who requires oxygen therapy. He has been battling with the condition for almost a year until when he was referred to Mulago for further treatment. Kiza appeals to the government to provide them with affordable and portable oxygen cylinders. Oxygen. Kiza's advice to the youths is to always put their safety first when doing and looking for jobs.
teri basaponsa basobola kugamba nti walwadde akujjanjabya wefaako wekka. Tutunze amataka, tutunze buli kimu kiweddewo kyonna, tusigadde ku bwerinde, tusigadde bukyaddi. Nsaba gavumenti etuyambeko.
Ramadhan from Masindi has been nursing his mother suffering from lung disease. His mother was referred to Mulago from Hoima Regional Hospital, where she has been on oxygen therapy for 7 months. Ramadhan says since they have to nurse their mother full-time for all these months, some of them have lost their jobs and others have dropped out of school, and this has affected them financially.
Kilograms za oxygen nya ku bbiri per hour. N'osanga nti bambi kituzitoweredde betuli. Awo nawo siru kibasukkako. Olaba tukozesa weddwaliro ekitegeeza bw'anaaba tateredde okubeera nti tudda waka nga tufuna waffe ku lwaffe, tuyinza okubeera ddala mu ddwaliro mpaka ebbanga lyonna kubanga essaawa tuli ku weddwaliro.
Dr. William Hurodria, a senior consultant pulmonologist at Mulago National Referral Hospital, explains what triggers some of the lung diseases.
Maybe in domestic settings, like cooking, smoke, and other conditions. So those are some of the possible triggers, but the biggest culprit is a material called silica. Silica is found in the Earth's crust. It composes about 25% of the Earth's crust. So you find it in dust, in soil, and all sorts of material. So any work which exposes you to dust, which you inhale, may lead to occupational lung diseases. There are other occupational lung diseases, like in agriculture. You will say, like in sugarcane manufacturing, there's what we call bagasosis, inhalation of material from the molasses and so on.
Dr. Worodia says such patients, once removed from oxygen, it's like their death sentence has been written.
What we are seeing here is really a tip of the iceberg, and most of these patients are referred from the regional centers and remain here because there's increased access to oxygen. Yeah, and you cannot discharge them because oxygen, one, is expensive. Many of them cannot afford to buy oxygen. So to have oxygen at home, you would need either an oxygen cylinder, which you can refill, or an oxygen concentrator, both of which are beyond the reach of most of the average Ugandans we admit here.
The executive director at Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Rosemary Byanyima, says the hospital has long-stay patients who have chronic conditions due to obstructive airway diseases.
They cannot go home because they need oxygen and they cannot have enough oxygen from the air if they go back home. So we have long-stay patients. Actually, the longest has stayed with us for 1.5 years. So you can imagine a cost of a patient occupying one bed. That means you can't admit any other patient just because the patient needs oxygen.
Now, health experts want a appropriate policy framework for occupational health in workplaces, especially in nascent sectors of minerals and construction, to curb on the increasing lung disease conditions in the country. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Zahra Bigaba, for that story on Mulago National Referral Hospital and how it's grappling with patients that need constant supplemental oxygen. We hope that the government gets a solution for that. Moving on, the Minister for Security and Member of Parliament for Rujumbura in Rukungiri, Major General Jim Muhwezi, has pledged total support to the people of Rujumbura and Rukungiri, urging them to embrace government programs like the PDM and the Muga. He was at a fundraising at Rukungiri Catholic Parish in Rukungiri to raise funds for a Toyota car and other stuff for the parish.
He made the remarks while officiating on the occasion to honor Mrs. Christine Kakuru Kyomugisha upon being appointed
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Hey, Mkowe High School. Now wana tufunye wo muwanguzi owa MTN Momo. Ye wangu de school fees ezo mwaka mulamba tebereza. Hey, owulira otya mutima kati.
Banange sanyu byenye nali amochi wagonya njaga nyangu amali walonze erinyo.
Eshishi?
Njani awangula school fees.
Eza Momo.
Eza Momo.
Ezo mwaka mulamba.
Okumala mwaka mulamba de musanyu.
Oh my goodness.
Banange MTN mwene yanza ne yanze.
Wanje?
Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Nkubiriza muzadde munange yonna gy'oli. Wallahi sasulia school fees for Momo Pay.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UCOSAF is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, through the GROW project, invites applications for the Gender Inclusive Workplace Infrastructure Grant. The grants are aimed at strengthening women-led enterprises by supporting the construction, refurbishment and equipping of gender-inclusive workplaces. The infrastructure grant supports facility development, equipment and technology, digital workspaces, skills development, technical support, environmental and social compliance, engineering and design, professional services, community markets that employ women. The eligible organizations include the following: women's entrepreneurship associations, cooperatives with at least 50% female entrepreneur participation, community-based organizations, non-government organizations, faith-based organizations, government ministries, departments and agencies, especially local governments, business incubation centers, and social enterprises supporting large numbers of women within the value chain. Applications must be submitted in hard copy only by March 18th, 2025 at 11 a.m. to the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Visit our website grow.go.ug/tenders or www.mglsd.go.ug/procurement for detailed application guidelines. For inquiries, contact us at +256 414 347 854.
Father Julius Tulyatoranwa, the parish priest of Christ the King Parish in Rukungiri, and Dean Nyachibale Deanery led the Mass and emphasized Christian fasting. In his homily, Father Tulyatoranwa encouraged the congregation to reflect on their spiritual journey and to support the parish's fundraising efforts. In his homily, Father Tulyatoranwa encouraged the congregation to reflect on their spiritual journey and to support the parish's fundraising efforts. The Minister for Security and Member of Parliament for Rujumbura in Rukungiri, Major General Muwezi, hailed the parish initiatives and encouraged the community to support fundraising.
So, tujero kwetegereza ngo ebyobutegeki tubitanise n'eby'eddiini twenda tugume tukwatanise tuba turi mu by'obutegetsi. So ninsiima diini waitu na bishop waitu Karisa abokuba nawe nikyarukunda niwe diini na bagenzi bawe ahabwa okuba bebembezi barungi.
Minister Muwezi also pledged his support to the people of Rujumbura and Rukungiri, urging them to support PDM and Emyoga initiatives.
Ntumanya ngo hariho bingi ebimuri kwenda tine kitari kumanya kandi byona nyenda kubagambira ngo nibiza kukorwa.
Muwezi also tipped on his voters about the new project that he is pushing for the people of Rujumbura.
Tamizi twaza kugakora ekyamashanyarazi tuza kukikora oruguuto rwaitu kilomita 9 barudizayiningire contractor okurukora niwe turiyo nturonda so oruguuto rwaitu tuza kurukora.
Rukungiri District Woman MP Medias Natukunda explained the fundraising of a Toyota double cabin for Ramagaya Catholic Parish.
The purpose was to buy a vehicle to donate to the parish because this sub-county has got some hard-to-reach areas, Vunyarimuka, Nyachitavire. So to ease the work of God, we decided it would be a noble cause to get a vehicle. So I thank everyone who has supported us. I thank the Honorable Minister who has been here to support us, and every Christian, whatever you brought here today, we are really thankful. Also,
however, the parish chairman reported to Minister some of the challenges they are facing in different sectors.
Chairman, mtatekanisa twatebekanise foundation nungi omushomesho abe stubborn atija kwesirika harwa magaya aha nguno munywa marwa ngo bakampinga go kwana bisiki ninga kingwa mureta mukasuka ntugaka ntumgarza district.
Today, Window International Uganda, convoy of Hope and Napak District Local Government, has launched a one-year children feeding initiative for Napak District. The initiative will complement the food supplies for meals which are not catered for and do nutrition assessment in the 3 schools where former street children were resettled. Take it.
Early last year, Government of Uganda, in collaboration with civil society organization, facilitated the resettlement, rehabilitation and reintegration of former street children into 3 schools in Napak district. These are Lotome Girls, Lodoe and Lokodiokodio primary schools in Napak district. Currently, 839 former street children are resettled in the 3 schools in Napak in Karamoja sub-region. Teachers and Napak district officials say in the schools the pupils are inadequately fed. They lack clothing and beddings.
As a district, we are not going to make it. We are making how can we sustain these children? Stay in school, remain in school, and compose the school.
So, Window International Uganda, Convoy of Hope and Napak District Local Government has launched a children feeding initiative in Napak District. It will strengthen on nutritional status and educational outcomes among the lower primary school learners.
And in more stories, the Minister for Security, Major General Jem Muhwezi, has cautioned Ugandans on violence in the ongoing campaigns in Kawempe North. He says that all voters must give an opportunity to exercise their an opportunity to exercise their constitutional rights. And of course, he was addressing guests during the celebration of the appointment of Christine Kakuru as Deputy Chair, Health Service Commission.
He made the remarks while officiating on the occasion to honor Mrs. Christine Kakuru Chomohanje upon being appointed Deputy Chairperson Health Service Commission, function held at Kabira Country Club.
Has been a nursing officer for a long time. At one time, she ran a health district health center very well. and it was the best in the country. And she caught even the eye of His Excellency.
And in more stories, Father Robert Sechibule, Kasagazi of Chi in the Mityana Diocese, has said that Women's Day is cause to reflect on the past and the future. He says academic success is very valuable to determine a student's future and vision beyond traditional achievement. We have a detailed report from Prosi.
In his day celebrations, many stakeholders who can't make it to the national events always organize mini commemorations. At St. Teresa Namakunga Primary School, Women's Day was to inspire and uplift young female students to remain focused as they nurture personal talents.
A show to these other young children that it is good to develop one's talent, because with the talent, it can push you far, it can make you famous. It can make you travel to many countries.
And when we support them, it will give room for the others to have confidence, to have self-esteem, to have a dream fulfilled that perhaps they are keeping for some time.
During the celebration, Father Robert Sechibule Kasagazi of Kinda Mityana Diocese spoke directly to the women, urging them to stop viewing themselves as less capable than men.
We are encouraging women. Some women do not believe in themselves. I tell you, what men can do, women can do. Be wonderful managers in your homes and also in other spheres of life.
I urge them to first focus on their career, such that they can become women of substance in future.
Among those celebrated for their remarkable achievements was Mohindo Chloe, a primary 4 pupil and the reigning Little Miss Tourist, who shared her experiences and motivated her peers to embrace their cultural heritage and take action towards environmental conservation.
Collectively fight for our environment. Women are the foundation of the world. People without knowledge of their past history, origin and culture is like a tree without roots. Today on Women's Day, I ask us to preserve our culture. Otherwise, we resemble a tree with deep roots.
Story compiled by Chonta Wairo Proskovia for UBC News.
As Makerere University prepares for the 91st Guild elections, the competition is heating up, with various contestants unveiling their manifestos. Among them is Bumba Anis, who promised to improve students' well-being to end the recent hunger campaign.
And to make sure the Guild House serves the students' community, because that is its purpose. If you heard of last semester, we had what we call the hunger campaign, which myself I read. Yeah, the purpose of the campaign was to make sure that the institution restores cooking in halls of residences. I want to assure Makererians that once elected, the first campaign I will conduct is to increase the allowances for government students, and second, to make sure that cooking in halls is restored.
A lot to fight for us government students. He lobbied, he went to support the students who totally had nothing to eat.
Right, now you can say something.
Pupils of St. Teresa Namilyango Girls Boarding School in Namilyango joined commemorations to mark International Women's Day with a colorful celebration of mass, a fashion show and skits. They say it inspires young girls to become future leaders, as you're about to witness.
Reverend Demberia Yesu emphasized that when women and girls commit their lives fully to Christ, success will be guaranteed and the sky will be the limit.
It's because she found no one, no safe place to open up. But she finds a man that opens up her throughout, and she wonders how. Chijia. Umusaji akolasi amani from that day, this Samaritan woman did not remain the same.
The day's chief guest, Olivia Nambusi Nwamanya, a ground support staff of Entebbe International Airport, encouraged women and girls to pursue vocational studies. She highlighted that vocational skills can help women make a quick and meaningful impact in male-dominated sectors and society.
A great job. Apart from the homework, the what we are now doing a great job in the country than even men. I'm very happy that the HM is a woman here. When I went to Ndeje High, the HM is a woman.
The Women's Day celebration brought together pupils, teachers and parents in a day filled with motivation and reflection.
We pray for women around the world that they may live in freedom and safety, free from oppression and violence. Lord, we pray.
Lord, graciously hear us.
I became a leader because my community believed in me. Women in leadership bring change and fairness. When we invest in women, we create policies that help everyone.
Father Dennis Samanya, who was the main celebrant, urged everyone to fight for the rights and well-being of women, emphasizing that empowering women is crucial for building a strong nation.
Aspect about behind every successful man, there is a woman. Women play a very significant role. Never ever make a woman as a commodity. You need to always see that a woman is very important for us all. We take our Blessed Mother as the greatest example, and she will always be there for us to show that we need to respect women.
The school's head teacher, Sister Florence Nalumu, who was the guest of honor, highlighted the importance of instilling strong values in young girls as a key strategy to accelerating progress towards gender equality.
In the line of becoming a saint. So we thank God for those women. And now we are the women, the present one. We have to work hard. We have to work hard. Studying, you become a responsible woman. As the teachers direct you, as elders, the mentors guide you, listen, adhere to what they tell you, so that you become women of substance. Clear? We need potential ladies, ministers, good women, good mothers, and sisters.
The celebration was a reminder of the critical role women play in society and the need to nurture and support young girls to become future change makers.
Feel the responsibilities of a prefect of St. Teresa and Mulago Girls Boarding Primary School.
Moving on from that, men called upon to be nation builders and inspirational figures of their families and as well as the community. This was during an only men conference organized in Kampala on the 8th of March on the theme The Man Project. Apostle Grace Lubego of Phaneroo Ministry says men's conference creates space where men can cover and converge to deepen their spiritual lives, building meaningful relationships and gain knowledge on how to be better in national building.
Today in men gather that it's possible for a man to choose different. Being different is by choice. You can be different from your blood lineage, which is of sickness, disease, failure, disappointment, oppression, and every sort of thing. But if a man can choose to change the way their lineage is, it's by choice. It's by choice, and you say today I'll think different from the way my father thought. I'll think different from the way my brother thinks. And when you make a deliberate effort, God will honor that effort. But culturally, we normally think We've seen young men who kill their parents because they want inheritance. You don't marry in Najana Kumbi, you have a wife in Chireka, you have a wife in Makerere, you have a wife in Mutungo, you have a wife in Musamvu, and you think you're going to be stable. That's why you see many people, they're walking and pulling. Why? Because the seed has been scattered. The more you scatter your seed, the more you're going to struggle with the responsibility. Because when you scatter in Mutungo, you think you have one. Then you scatter in Chireka, you have two. That our past does not hold us from achieving great in the future.
In more stories, a mother of three from Kanyogoga village in Bukase Parish, Joanna Ainembabazi, has become a symbol of resilience and transformation. Driven by a painful childhood and a passion for change, Joanna is on a mission to reshape the lives of disadvantaged youth trapped in the struggles of ghetto life. Take a look.
Losing her father during her teenage years, Joanna's life took a challenging turn early in life. At 16 years, she was already grappling with adulthood and responsibilities, never having attended school and working as a maid to survive. Despite the harsh conditions she faced, it was these early struggles that ignited a fire within her to help those suffering similar fates. The escalating issues of teenage pregnancies and rampant drug abuse among youth in the ghettos spurred Joanna into action.
I lived in the slums, I've been in the slums, I have seen the slums, and I really know that most of these young men and women, they are who they are what they are because of the surrounding. You know, you grow up and by the time you're like this, you see the children of 12, the young girls of 12 giving birth. I mean, the day-to-day life is taking marijuana, stealing, you know, I mean, snatching bags from people. That is the lifestyle. So I really felt in my heart that I can bring a change.
Determined to help, she has successfully transformed the lives of 27 youth, all of whom have renounced their past destructive habits and embraced new meaningful lives.
So I went and shared with them. I said, I'm here to love you, I'm a mother to you. And guess what? Some people have changed. We are working together with them. Those who are taking marijuana has stopped. You know, some of them have found themselves stealing because they have no work to do.
Joanna acknowledges that while many youth trapped in ghetto life want to change, they remain fearful of society's judgment.
And you know, those people fear us. They fear that everyone speaks ill against them. And when I went to them, they were like, we feel bad because no one wants us. So I feel in my heart that I grew up when I was not so much loved. So I feel I want to give love to someone who is not loved.
However, Joanna firmly believes that offering these young people a second chance and showing them that society is willing to embrace them can help them overcome this fear. To empower these youth, she has introduced skills like training them in soap making, jelly production, offering them a chance to earn income and break free from the cycle of poverty and crime.
So I said, what can I do to make sure that at least someone earns something? Then the Spirit of the Lord gave me an idea. I started looking of the skills that you can equip someone with. So that, I mean, that if someone can get some small money, you can start your own business and you survive.
Aside skills earned, sports have also proven to be a valuable tool Joanna is using to keep these youth engaged and away from criminal activities. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
The Director of Mission and Outreach at the Church of Uganda, Reverend Simon Peter Dembedia Yesu, has advised women and children to live meaningful and successful lives. This was during the Nalinya Luantale Girls SS Women's Day celebrations in Luero District, where he delivered a sermon on the topic, The Unstoppable Woman. Take a look.
Reverend Dembedia Yesu emphasized that when women and girls commit their lives fully to Christ, success will be guaranteed and the sky will be the limit.
is because she found no one, no safe place to open up. But she finds a man that opens up her throughout, and she wonders how. And from that day, this Samaritan woman did not remain the same.
The day's chief guest, Olivia Nambusi Nwamanya, a ground support staff of Entebbe International Airport, encouraged women and girls to pursue vocational studies. She highlighted that vocational skills can help women make a quick and meaningful impact in male-dominated sectors and society.
A great job. Apart from the homework, the what we are now doing a great job in the country than even men. I'm very happy that the HM is a woman here. When I went to Ndeje High, the HM is a woman.
The headmistress of Wantale Girls SS, Lydia Watulo, urged girls and women to prioritize education. She stressed that equipping themselves with knowledge will empower them to lead the next generation of innovators and leaders.
As you celebrate International Women's Day, remember that you are part of a global movement that seeks to empower women and girls everywhere. You are part of a community that values equality, justice, and human rights. So let us picture it. A world where women and girls are empowered, valued, and respected.
Participants at the celebration held under the theme Empowering Women, Empowering Humanity, Picture It, were reminded never to underestimate the power of women. The term woman was defined as a worker, organizer, manager, advisor, and negotiator.
And that's all we had for you in this hour. Thank you so much for being a part of UBC News tonight. Today on the 9th of March 2025 with me, Sharon Kyomugisha and Magalu Mohammed on 10 language. From the team and I have a lovely, beautiful night and a blessed week ahead of you as we leave you with Juventus versus Atlanta playing a soccer match. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Scudetto conversation, the team that loses.
Especially for Juventus, considering next week big heavyweight clash in between Atalanta and Inter. See what's gonna happen.
It's hard to call this match, not least because since Gasperini has been in charge of